Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? It's your boy Votto Beast, and I'm here to present you my MLB picks for Thursday, April 5th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my MLB, NBA, and NFL videos. And if you want to play the actual lineups that I'm playing every single night, visit my website at www.rotobeast.net. So, hey, we started this MLB season absolutely rolling. Things have been going very, very well for us. Very happy, very excited about what's going on. Very excited for the money team. Hey, getting that bankroll up early. Remember, it's a long MLB season, 8 months long. I understand that we're on fire right now. But, hey, we got to stick to our betting strategy. 80-20. 80% cash games, 20% GPP, betting 10% of your bankroll nightly. Make sure and stick to the strategy. I promise you this season is going to be very, very successful. We'll just jump into this slate. We got 4 games. Before I do get started on the games, though, if you don't mind, literally takes you a second. Please go down below, click that like button. It really, really helps me out, and I really, really appreciate it. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Have your notifications turned on so you don't miss any of my videos. And let's just jump into it. So we got Baltimore going into New York to face the Yankees. This game has a 9 implied total. The Yankees are favored by 1.5. Then you got Chicago going into Milwaukee. This game has a 9 implied total as well. Chicago is favored by 1. You got Cincinnati going into Pittsburgh. This game has an 8.5 implied total. Pittsburgh favored by 1. Then you got Arizona going into St. Louis. This game has an 8 implied total. St. Louis is favored by 1.5. St. Louis is favored by 1.5. Those are kind of the games. It's a short 4-game slate. Honestly, we got some alright pitching. We got some alright pitchers going. You got Robbie Ray. This guy has massive strikeout upside. We definitely seen it last year. I think he's probably gives you the highest floor for your cash games based on his strikeouts, upside, and he's a really good pitcher. But the Cardinals, they've been hot. Don't get me wrong. So it's not a dream matchup. This is not a matchup like I was telling you guys the other day when we went with Charlie Morton. I went all in. I told you guys go all in with them. Robbie Ray, he can get blown up. He gave up some runs his first outing. You got to be careful. Then you got Tanaka going against Baltimore. Tanaka's a solid pitcher. He's been a solid pitcher. But Baltimore's a team that does have bats. He's not absolutely the safest neither. But one thing I will note, his first game of the season, he had a great outing going against Toronto. He went 6 innings, got you 8 strikeouts, 1 earned run, a win, and a quality start. So I honestly think that it's going to be Robbie Ray or it's going to be Tanaka. One of them is probably going to end up being your pitchers on the day for your cash games. And then, you can look at a guy like Jon Lester. To me, he's on the back end of his career in a hitter's park in Milwaukee. Going against the Brewers, he's going against a Brewers team who's actually, they're a pretty good team. They have some hitters. So, I'm not really going to chase Jon Lester. That's more of a name. Like I said, I'm really probably going to go just Ray or Tanaka. Couple guys on a cheap end. Strictly GPP, though. You can look at Sutter going against the Cubs. You can go look at Sutter going against the Cubs. He had a solid first outing. Then you can also go a little bit cheaper to a guy like Homer Bailey. He had a very first good outing as well. He went 6 innings, allowed 1 run. 3 strikeouts, got your quality start, 28 fantasy points. At this price tag, you would definitely take 20 fantasy points. That's kind of where I'm at with the pitchers. This is kind of a shallow slate, to be honest with you. We'll go to first base, a catcher first base. You got Goldsmith. Goldsmith, I understand that, he hasn't had the best start to the season. But this guy, he's a really good hitter. In his career, he's 4 for 14 off of Wainwright with 2 home runs. So, he obviously sees him pretty well. Then you got Joey Votto. He's 2 for 3 off of Brault. I know it's a lefty-lefty matchup. But Votto's just an extremely good hitter, and he's due for a big game. I definitely think this is a spot he could have it. Ryan Braun going against Leicester, 7 for 16 in his career with 4 stolen bases. You always want to get stolen base guys against John Lester because he absolutely sucks. He never throws over, tries to pick people off or anything like that. Then you can look at Wilson Contreras. I mean, the guy's batting in the cleanup spot as a catcher. Massive upside. He's a really good hitter at a very fair price. Lastly, you can look at Sanchez. Sanchez, he hasn't really had monster game yet. He's definitely due for one. Today he hit his first home run of the season. Hey, this guy's a really good hitter. He's not gonna bat, .87 on the season. He's much better than that. This is a really good buy low opportunity right now. Second base, Josh Harrison. He's been absolute tearing it up. I'm really liking Harrison once again tomorrow. Then we look at a guy like Scope. I mean, I'm not really trying to target Tanaka too much, but this guy has pretty good career history off Tanaka, and he's been, playing solid so far to start the season. Next, you got Scooter Gennett. I mean, this is a guy I played last year, and he got his 4 home runs in one game. I mean, the guy has upside. Going against, this guy brought, it's a lefty-lefty matchup. That's kind of, it's a little bit, but, I mean, Gennett, he started the season off hot. He's got you at least 1 hit in every single game. He hasn't had the long ball yet. It's coming. He's got, 8 hits in, 7. So he got 8 hits and 17 at bats. So I'm looking at Scooter Gennett. You got Villar. I mean, very good stolen base guy. He bats up top of the order. Going against Leicester, all he needs is a walk, and he's going to get you a quick 9 points because he's going to get you that stolen base. So Villar's a solid play. And then on the cheap end, you can look at a guy like this guy, 2,300. The guy's 2 for 4 in his career off Adam Wainwright with the jack. It's a small sample size, but it's a small slate. Now we got third base. You start with Chris Bryant in a hitter's park in Milwaukee. The guy started his season off pretty good. I definitely like him in this spot. You're going to look at a guy like Travis Shaw. I mean, I don't like the lefty-lefty matchup. I understand that. But, he started his season solid. He's due for a home run. He hasn't had a home run yet, but he's got you at least 1 hit in every single game. 3 2-hit games already. So, the guy's seeing the ball well. He's playing very well. You got Carpenter. He's lefty-lefty man. I don't like, lefties going against lefties or righties going against, but, this is what the slate is. So I'm just going with the hitters and the best matchups. Robbie Ray's not a guy I really want to target. Don't get me wrong. But Carpenter's a good hitter, and he's got on base every single game this season. I like him. I think he's a solid play. Then we can look at Suarez going against a lefty. Suarez is Suarez. This guy has massive upside. He strikes out. He a ton. Don't get me wrong. He's hit or miss. But going against a lefty-righty matchup, I think this is a great spot for him. Then we'll look at this guy, Moran for Pittsburgh. Going against Homer Bailey. I do like the Pittsburgh guys. I definitely think you can really target them. Going against Homer Bailey, he really dropped off the past couple seasons. This dude Moran, he's only got 3 hits to start the season, but he has a jack. He's batting in a solid spot in the lineup. So I definitely think that you can look at him on the cheaper end. Now we'll go to shortstop. You got Didi Gregorius. Hey, this dude's starting on fire. Starting the season on fire. Going against Cashner, a hard right-hand thrower. Gregorius, he's got you 74 fantasy points in one game. He's not going to do that again. I understand. But he's showing you the upside. The guy has massive upside. The price tag is there as well. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, he's playing very well. Got DeJong going against Robbie Ray. I mean, the guy got 3 home runs just already to start the season. He's at least got on base every single game with either he's got a hit every single game with a couple multi hit games already. Then we got Machado going against Tanaka. Not the best matchup. Machado's a really good hitter, though, on a small slate. I mean, I think you're paying a little bit more for safety. Look at Addison Russell. He actually has pretty good career numbers against Sutter. It was only a couple at bats, but he's like, I want to say he was like 3 for 7 or something like that. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but I've seen that he did have a couple hits off the guy already. So, I mean, I definitely will look at him. I do like the Cubs batters. Then on the cheap end, get you a value play. There's Guy Marte projected to bat second. He's a switch hitter. You know, like I said, he hasn't done nothing special to start the season. But, I mean, he's got some hits, though. Batting up top. Gets a little walks. Has stolen base upside. Next, we'll go to outfield. I mean, you got your boy Stanton, you got your boy Judge. Just going to combine them together. Stanton is absolutely starting his Yankee career on fire. You know, I'm probably going to go right back to the well tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. I really like both of those guys. We got Tommy Pham. I mean, he's starting the season off very well as well, going against Robbie Ray. I know I like Robbie Ray. Don't get me wrong. But if you look at... if you look at the Cardinals' numbers... They absolutely own Robbie Ray. I mean, they're as a team batting over 300 against him. So even though he has the strikeout upside and he's one of the best pitchers on the slate, I mean, he's not in a good matchup at all. These dudes have been hitting them, you know, for their career. And so that's kind of why, you know, I'm targeting some of them. Don't get me wrong. So Pham's a solid play. You can look at Happ. You know, Happ, you know, he hasn't done nothing special. Lefty-lefty matchup, so he may not even be in the lineup. But, I mean, if he is, he's a very fair. The guy has double dong upside, so you can look at him. And then we're gonna the 2 guys I'm actually really liking. You know, Happ, he's okay. He's more of a GPP play. 2 guys I'm liking, though. I think you could probably play both of them in cash games. Billy Hamilton, I mean, the guy's just too cheap. You need him to get a walk. He can get you 2 stolen bases instantly. You know, I like Billy Hamilton. I like him at the buy low price tag. He doesn't have a stolen base yet. It's coming. You know, hey, he's always at the top of the leaderboard in those every single year. So I like him on the buy low. Then you got Fowler. Fowler's one of my favorite plays on the slate going against Robbie Ray. You know, thing is, Fowler, career-wise, 5 for 8 with the home run off of Robbie Ray. I told you guys yesterday, play him. Put him in my core. He didn't disappoint us. He got us 18.4 fantasy points. Got on base 3 times. He started the season off slow the first couple games, but really been picking it up the past couple games. You know, giving you a solid floor at a very fair price tag. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with this video. It's a small slate. There's a couple obvious spots that we want to target. And yeah, let's just jump into this core. But before we do, please make sure, drop a like on this video. Really helps me out. Make sure that you're subscribed. So, at pitcher, I'm going to be honest. I like Robbie Ray. But, I mean, the St. Louis guys have really good numbers on him for their career. So, I'm going to go with Tanaka. I think he's probably going to be a really good cash game pitcher. Then at catcher, first base, I'm going to go right back to the well with Braun. He didn't play today. Definitely expect him to be back tomorrow. Second base, I'm liking Harrison a lot. The guy's starting the season off on fire. Then outfield, I'm going to go with Stanton. Utility, I'm going with my boy Fowler. I mean, he's just too cheap. I mean, this is it. This is what I got for you. This is my 5 core plays of the day. You know, like always, if you want to talk about people I miss or have questions for me, make sure that you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at RotoB. Send me a message. Put a comment below on this video. If you want to go that route, hit me up, man. I love talking daily fantasy all day. So let me know what you got. And I'll talk to you later. Let's get this money.